Hello, teachers. This is the instructional guide for Primary 3, Term 4, Week 11. Okay, so for this week, we are starting them on Primary 4 work. There are going to be 2 booklets plus 1 test to be assigned as well. And the tests, I believe that they still have this area and parameter test that have not been assigned. I could be wrong. If that's been assigned, you can actually assign the term review 4 instead, right? But I believe the area and parameter test has not been assigned. So let's go with that. Okay, so for the first booklet, it is counting to 100,000. So during the for the start of lesson, you can go through the deal with them. Go through the in terms of how to count, right, in thousands all the way to 10,000, and after that count in terms of 10,000, right? So 10,000, 20, 30,000, 40,000, all the way to 100,000s. In order to so-called reinforce your understanding of place value as well, you might want to ask them a question: how many 10,000s are there in 100,000? Okay, how many 10,000s are there in 100,000s? Correct answer is 10 10,000s. Okay, so yeah, all right. So all these things I might just want to quickly get them to just demonstrate or get everyone to count together because it can be quite time consuming. After that, do the guided practice. I foresee that the problem that they have would be to writing the numbers in words. So remind them that when they work on, for example, T, right, 22, 57, there is usually a hyphen, and there must be a hyphen between the ty, right, and the number, right? T 7,000, and then comma 926. So if there's no 100, they can just continue with n26. But if there's 100, right, they have to put a comma and then 926. Okay, so during guided practice, go through them, make sure that they spelled correctly. Some common problems with spelling with 40, which is spelled as F-O-R-T-Y, and 90, right? 90, which is spelled as N-I-N-E-T-Y, not N-I-N-T-Y. Okay. After that, they can do these activity. I think the rest of the guided practice are quite easy. Okay, how do you count in terms of money? Right, so always count from the greatest value first: 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 31,000, 32,000, 32,000, and 100, 32,000 and 200, 32,000 and 300, 30,000, 32,400. Okay, for independent practice, I think it's quite straightforward. All these questions, perhaps maybe just do one, just right. They just that they know the instructions, circle the number this that make up each given number, right? So 20,000, right? That'll be circling 2 10,000s. The idea is familiarize themselves with the place value as well. Okay, so because in the second booklet they'll be doing place values. So for 7,000, they circle 7 1,000s. Okay, not to do too many of these, right? They should be able to do on their own, and so on. So I would say perhaps get them to do GH. All right, for spelling purposes, 40, remember, right? 40, okay, 900. And the rest are quite straightforward, right? I would say perhaps do question 12 with them, right? Color the amounts of money to make up each amount. So starting with 40,000 for 10,000s, right? 9,000, 1,000, and so on. Okay, just one question here. And then another question, perhaps I would say question 14, and that's it. Okay, quite clear cut, right, in a sense. Then we move on to the second booklet, which is on place value. Right, for place value, they've done it in P2, right, but only up to thousands. Now they're dealing with 10,000, so it's good to use this as a refresher, right? Make sure that they understand the difference between digit and numbers. So in this case, number is 46,392. The digits are the digits in the place value here, right? So 4 is a digit, 6 is a digit, 3 digit, 9 is a digit, 2 is a digit, right? A lot of times they get confused. They when you ask them what's the number here, it tells you 6 is the number. Well, not in this context, right? Because the number in question is 46,392. 6 is just a digit, all right? So the digit in particular place value. All right, so please go through with them. The tens place, the hundreds place, the thousand place, the ones place. And very importantly, remind them the value. So if I ask you what's the value of the digit 9, that's 90, right? Because it's 9 tenths there. So they have to say it as 90. Okay, so get into the guided practice. Right. Right. So do the guided practice here. And then some other practices that they can do will be on page 9, 3A, B, and C. Right, so that they are familiar with the terms, right, in terms of when to write for which answer, right? Like, for example, look at question 3A, standard form, write the number, okay, and then the digit what is in the thousands place, 3 is in the thousands place. The value of digit 5 is 50, right, because 5 tenths 50, and digit 9 stands for, similarly, right, like value, right, it means 90,000. Okay. And then let's see, perhaps to do FGH on page 11. Right here, it's a bit tricky, especially G and H, which is why good for you to go through with them. So, for example, you have 57,038. What do they write? They can either write 5 10,000s, right? And then you can write 700 tenths. Okay, because there's no hundreds here. So they can either write 700 tenths or 703 tenths, and then 38 ones. Okay, so for some students who are unclear, right, how you do this, I always found this useful, right? You can actually get them to draw a place value. Okay, so let me try to draw this. So this is ones, this is tens, this is hundreds, this is 1,000, right? And then it is 10,000. So to do this question, right, what they can do is they can write the original number here. So this is 57,038. Right? And then for the blanks here, right, you got 10,000s here. Right? So if they say the first one is 5 10,000s, right, 5. Right? And then the second one, right, notice that there's no hundreds. So you got to put 0, right? So now you got to figure out, right, whether from here they can see you can either go this way, 700 tenths, okay, 700 tenths, right, 700 tenths, in which case there is still a remainder of 38, right? So then they write 38 once. Okay, or they can go 703 tenths, and then so there's a remainder of 8 ones, right? Because there's no 100 here. So you can use this place value to go through with them. Okay, place value chart. And then they can draw it on their own. Rest of the questions fairly repetitive, so I wouldn't spend too much time on it. Perhaps get them to try J and I and J. Right, so as you can see, again, the missing hundreds here, right? So they have to a few ways they can do it, right? They can do let me see, maybe they can do, oh, because they need tens, so they cannot put 25,000s. Do you see that? So these questions are quite tricky, right? Because they are tens, right? If you put 25,000, hey, actually, let me see. It is possible. Oh no, sorry. The trick here is you cannot leave it as 0, 1. Do you see that? Right? So this question is quite important for you to teach them to go through, because the plural here is ones. So there must be more than one, right? So the only way to do it is you can only write 80 ones. So if you write 80 ones, right, that leaves you with the blank here, tens, right? That's why you need to put 500 tens. You cannot put 8 tens anymore, right? Because the 80 ones represent 8 tens. All right, you all get the idea? All right, so quite challenging. Okay, you have to analyze to them, right? Because of the wording here, ones. Okay, and then you cannot put 8 tens anymore because 80 is here. That means you need to do 500 tens, right? That makes up 5,000. 500 tens is 5,000, right? Again, use the place value chart if you're not sure, right? So 500 tens. Let's see, ones, tens, hundreds, 5,000, right? So how do you write 500 tens? 5, 0, 0, right? Do you see that? 500 tens, also the same as 5,000. Okay. And then remaining time, pick 2 questions from here. I'll leave it to you, right? I would suggest doing an alternate question, perhaps try a simple one A, right? And then a harder one, maybe E. And the rest can be assigned as homework. So if the students happen to finish everything earlier than expected, get them to do the corrections from previous week homework. If they are corrections already done, then you can start them, get them to start doing the test paper. Okay, I believe it's an area and parameter test paper, and if not, it'll be term review. That's it for today's session. Thank you.